On June 9, Ukrainian forces eliminated over 30 invaders and an ammunition dump in the country's eastern part, according to a Ukrainian military organization. On June 9, Ukrainian forces eliminated over 30 invaders and an ammunition dump in the country's eastern part, according to a Ukrainian military organization. The armed forces of Ukraine destroyed more than 30 Russian invaders as well as an enemy ammunition stockpile in the area of responsibility of the Operational and Tactical Group East. According to Operational Command East, Ukrainian forces continued to repel the aggressors' attempts to gain land in the area. The Ukrainian military organization further claimed that an enemy infantry fighting vehicle, 3 trucks, an unmanned aerial vehicle, and an ammunition depot were all destroyed, killing 32 Russian personnel. 6 killed in Kryvyi Rih. Further, according to Valentin Reznichenko, the leader of Ukraine's Dnipropetrovsk area military administration, the city of Kryvyi Rih, located in the country's center, is currently under constant fire from Russian forces. The officials stated that villages and towns in Kryvyi Rih are being littered with cluster munitions due to shelling, and there is an outage of gas, electricity, and water. Reznichenko claimed, the communities of Zelenodolsk and Shirokov suffer the most. Unfortunately, 6 people died there, 179 houses, 2 schools, a kindergarten and a hospital were destroyed or damaged. 5 killed in Russian strikes in Kharkiv. Meanwhile, according to Oleh Syniehubov, the chief of Kharkiv's regional military administration, 5 persons were killed and 14 were injured in Russian strikes in Kharkiv. According to Syniehubov, Ukraine's armed troops are stationed in the north and northeast. When asked why the Russian military is shelling civilian infrastructure when there are no obvious clashes between Russian and Ukrainian armies in the Kharkiv region at the present, Syniehubov responded that Russian forces are focused on terrorizing the civilian population. Today the enemy attacked Kharkiv region, in particular settlements in the northern and northeastern directions. 5 houses were destroyed. The enemy also struck at Chuhuiv district today, Syniehubov stated during a press conference. Russia-Ukraine war. As the Russia-Ukraine war reached its 106th day, the Ukrainian army said its forces were still thwarting Russian attempts to conquer the hotly disputed eastern city of Severodonetsk. Furthermore, in his nightly speech, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, once again, urged European Union leaders to support Ukraine's accession to the group. He said, "Most Europeans support the integration of Ukraine. And if the Europeans support it, then politicians who still have doubts in some countries should not set themselves against people, society and the very course of European history." A regional Ukrainian official has claimed that Ukraine will be able to clean up Severodonetsk in 2 or 3 days if they receive Western long-range weapons. A regional Ukrainian official has claimed that Ukraine will be able to clean up Severodonetsk in 2 or 3 days if they receive Western long-range weapons. Serhiy Haidai, governor of Luhansk, in a post on Telegram said that Russian forces continue with their primitive tactics like heavy artillery firing. He said that the industrial zone in Severodonetsk remains under constant shelling. "If we get Western long-range weapons quickly, an artillery duel will begin, the Soviet Union will lose to the West, and our defenders will be able to clean up Severodonetsk in 2 or 3 days, Serhiy Haidai said in the post on Telegram. Serhiy Haidai said that the street fighting between forces of Russia and Ukraine continues in Severodonetsk. According to Haidai, evacuation and transportation of rubber goods continues to remain impossible in Severodonetsk. He stressed that the hospitals in the region have all the necessary medical equipment for the treatment of people who have been injured. He claimed that Russian forces have not captured the Lysychansk-Bakhmut road and they continued to constant storm it. Furthermore, Luhansk Governor Haidai accepted the difficulties of fighting with Russian troops. He said that maybe Ukrainian forces will have to retreat, according to AP. However, he added that the battle between the forces of both sides continues in Severodonetsk. He said that Russian forces were using artillery, mortars, and tanks in Severodonetsk to wipe the city off the face of the earth and capture it completely. Zelensky calls Severodonetsk epicenter of combat in Donbass. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in his late-night video address on Wednesday, 8 June, said that Severodonetsk remains the epicenter of combat in Donbass. Zelensky said that fight in Severodonetsk is one of the most difficult battles seen so far and called it a very fierce battle. The British Ministry of Defence in their latest defence update on Thursday, 8 June, said that the fighting between forces of Russia and Ukraine continues in Severodonetsk. It further said that Russia's eastern group of forces has likely ramped up their efforts to move towards the south of Izium. As the war between Russia and Ukraine continues for day 106, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry has said that around 31,500 Russian troops have lost their lives since Moscow's military offensive began on February 24. Severodonetsk remains the epicenter of the confrontation in Donbas. We defend our positions, inflict significant losses on the enemy. This is a very fierce battle, very difficult. Probably one of the most difficult throughout this war, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in his video address.